whatever it was, they fixed it. And they come in here and they get 2 back-to-back wins, trying to make sure there is no doubt who deserves to be at the top of this lobby. Now, it's not done yet. It's not done yet. It's still possible, but we'll have to see.
I hate the term, but it is a Herculean task for anybody to catch up to them at this point. That doesn't mean it's outside of the realm of existence. I'll just remind everybody that there was a period of time where people thought, hey, last year, November, grand finals, everything like that, the global finals, people were like, oh, well, FaZe can't qualify, and they managed to do it in that last round. Picked up a ton of points. And we have seen North American teams be able to pick up around 30 points. Usually a big game for them is closer to 25, so it will take 2. But really, I have my eyes beaded in on Gas Cans and Oath. That is so close right now. And really, it's about a team that's always trying to make a statement for themselves in Oath and just wants to prove how awesome they are. And then it's the new kids on the block and the Gas Cans just trying to prove that they deserve to be here. What?
Matt,
what?
Look at where the Gas Cans are going.
Where Gas Cans go. Oh, I like it. This is an interesting modification coming into play here.
So this is now they have been known to go to Zarki, okay, on certain planes. This plane,
respectable.
No, not this plane. This plane, I think they would still try to go down towards Millie. I think. But they're already going to push ATC off of their 2-2 drop zone. But look at that circle. Oath, baby, let's go. This is your circle, Oath. This is your time. This is your time.
But Zenith is hanging out right on top of them over on the other side of this. I think that Zenith is going to separate back down. Poonage is already going to be in position. Knows the fact that they were back over next to Lippo trying to grab vehicles. I don't think that Zenith is going to have time to get any shots back over their direction. So they should be able to make their way back over towards Milta. The statement that I see coming out from Gas Cans, though, is the fact that it's time to fight. Yes. But oddly enough, there's a lot of small skirmishes already happening around Georgia Pool where shoot to kill is kind of forcing ATC even further away. So this play that Gas Cans looks like they were trying to go for to pick up kills early. Instead, it's just going to be shoot to kill next to them, and ATC is going to get separated distance.
Yeah, I mean, this is 100% Gas Cans. I think reading the situation, knowing that ATC did this 2-2 split yesterday to kind of reduce, I guess, the risk of getting hard crashed by STK, like STK has been known to do. They've been sending 2 to Watertown, 2 to North George, and this time I guess Gas Cans is just going to push them off. So good on ATC to be able to get to hot drop the vehicle and just get on out of there and not even have to worry about messing with it for now. But what's Gas Cans going to do now? They're looting up in North George. They know STK is right below them. This is a circle where STK would like to rotate to the north and come in from the north side. So can Gas Cans get their looting done quickly enough and maybe get into a position where they can do a little camping here on STK? We'll have to see. It's really all dependent on who loots faster here, who gets their looting done the quickest. STK is used to it. Gas Cans, maybe not so much.
Or if shoot to kill is even aware off of positioning, because we did see ATC kind of get separated out. But I mean, Gas Cans did they saw a lot of people over there, but it really just comes down to what is the plan that Gas Cans are trying to do. We talk about it a lot. Force other teams to react to you. Set up everything in advance and force people to play off of your plans. And that is the secret to victory in a battle royale. Sure, it's great to have great reactionary skills, but if you can force what is happening inside the game and take control over it, then you win so much easier because everybody's playing your game. The question comes into play, how far ahead are Gas Cans looking right now?
Well, it's also how high risk are they willing to go? How high risk, high reward are they willing to play at this point? They are about as close as you can get, but hey, 39 points, that's going to require a little bit more than just, quote unquote, playing your own game. That's going to require you going out and trying to find some more points where maybe you wouldn't have found them before. So, that's a style that Gas Cans is very, very good at playing. So
also, Gas Cans is looking at the circle and they know it's an Oath circle. Let's be real.
Yes.
If you've been watching North American PUBG, you're like, oh, this is an Oath circle. So that means that teams that like Sonics, they don't have to be as concerned as much. They can just kind of take what's coming their way and just try to go for survival and kills. But Gas Cans know the fact that they cannot go out early here and they cannot go out. They have to get points because they know that Oath most likely is going to make it into the later sections of this game.
Right. And then you add on to the fact that Sonic's just won back-to-back games. So, you're not only thinking like, okay, this is looking great for Oath, but you're also thinking about Sonic's like is really kind of on one right now. And you can see them already making their move to Potato Hill, most likely from here. Just do a little scouting. They'll move down to Death Road. This is kind of what their bread and butter is on circles like this. So we'll see where they end up. SDK, meanwhile, electing not to go north. So maybe reading the writing on the wall that time and seeing a 4-man squad drop in North Georgia and saying, okay, there's a pretty good chance that that's somebody we don't really want to mess with right now. So let's, instead of going north and wrapping north like we usually do, let's take it down to the south.
What we've got going on here is a chess game of IGLs, each one trying to figure out how the other one's going to counter move. These guys mostly know how everybody's going to move. So the way you get points right now is throwing wrenches into other people's plans, trying to force new repositions, be in places that you're unexpected at. And it looks like what Shoot to Kill might be doing. They're positioning back over there. They might be able to pick up T8 based off of rotation points. Dodge playing in a fairly strong position right now, but really it could probably be Comets that might be coming over towards harassing them. Fabled making a little bit of a northeasterly push on the road. Look at them being respectable, safe drivers. I like it. Usually it's mostly off-road, and as I say that, they cut off-road. But they got to be a little careful here. They're going to have Rumblers back over towards the north, as well as Zenith and Veritas back on their south, technically their southeast and southwest respectively. As you can see now, starting to have a little bit of trouble come their way as bullets are starting to rain back down towards their vehicles. Might be able to buy a little bit more space, but here in just a second, Zenith should also maybe have a firing line for them as well.
And Zenith already in that 2-2 split between the compound and the west cliffs of Prison. Looks like Fabled will send most everybody to the Sniper Tower, that little Harry Potter just to the west of Prison. Gregshot going to do a little spinny spin out in the middle. I think he probably lost a tire, but manages to salve it. So Fabled will 4-man it up inside the Sniper Tower. Meanwhile, here is STK. They've started making the long wrap down to Millie, and Civ is actually going to pass by Lush here. Luke 12 is the caboose in this STK train, and this might be bad news because T8 has kept their presence hidden so far.
Well, most of the players, this is kind of the tail end of the shoot-to-kill positioning. Luke 12 going to get tire popped out, but looks like he's going to get some distance. The other 3 members are up in front of him, so if he needs a little bit of support, might have Unciv turn around and pick him back up. There is a tiny section of Novo and the bridge that from military base that are in play. So we might be seeing Shoot to Kill just choose to like slow roll this one in. Usually Dodge playing towards the northern parts of this. And instead, ATC says, nah, man, I want this position. Rolls right back over on top of the Rumblers, but Sharpshot gets a little bit too aggressive with it and does get quickly taken down. Marsluk making the peek back around the angle, but there are just too many cars. There's no clear firing lines to work with. Norcus goes down as well from some shots from Los. But Aguila now approaching from the other side of the Sing. If maybe he can find some type of angle to work with. Who needs angles when you've got grenades? Just throw one in and see if you can get the play to come through. Marslick now regrouping just a touch, but it's going to be a couple of shots out at range. And Veritas harassing ATC as they're dancing around the outside of this building, as that is a lot of cars in that garage.
They got a whole dealership in there. ATC had to come inside to get away from the fire that they were taking from outside. They're going to close the door and just hold down this one little room for the time being. It looks like Marcelic will try to hop out and reposition just a bit. Rumblers for their part. Los HD with the 6 shots from other side of this compound. Now it's all down to Marcelic as Norcus and Aguila just kind of bleeding out for the time being.
And this is not a safe position to play. If you've got control over this location, great. If you're having to fight around the outside of it, it's such a raised position. So many teams can see it from so far away. It's just going to make a lot of problems for you. Meanwhile, closer towards the lumberyard, you can see that it's going to be Sonics that have themselves a good position, but they've got a lot of very noisy neighbors around the point. And that looks like still continuing to go back over here. And good Lord, this circle is going towards the east. This is an oath upon oath circle right now. There are, 4 teams inside of the safe zone right now, and it is just stacked up over towards the west. And notice, there's not a lot of good rotation points. Where Zenith is at right now, it kind of creates a bottleneck over towards the north. So that means that teams like Gas Cans and Illusion that are wrapping over towards the north can't really cut back down too far to the south.
I love this split that they're doing too. They leave 3 in mini power, and they leave Relo in the sniper tower just off to the west of Milton, Maine. We've seen them do this split once before, and they won with a bunch of points during the group stages. So this is a good setup for Oath. This is one that they know how to use, know how to play, and Relo knows how to play that solo position off in the sniper tower very, very well. So we'll see what the Oath can manage to get here. Sonics, meanwhile, they're trying to make their way in. You can see they're already lost Win and Mime, and it's down to Shrimsy and Tig as they wrap around on the coast. They've got T8 to deal with, but some
this is a mess
from hardships as well.
Over towards the north, there are like 5 teams stacked on top of each other all along that little area. Sonic's wrapping back over. Shoot to Kill already made a path through here, so their long wrap definitely paying off as they're going to stop back behind the other side.
Relo's getting crashed.
Ooh, whoa, hey, William, no! Off the side. That's going to be a vehicle lost and going to have to try to rotate back over onto the other point. Sonic's now taking a couple of shots back over towards T8 as they come through, just dropping them out of vehicles as they come through this. More kills and more stacks just going to continue to pop over for Tiggleton himself, holding the lineup. It's continuing to be a mess. Oddly enough, William rolling off the side of that cliff might have bought his team a little bit extra safety. Meanwhile, it's just about Milta power right now. There are just teams stacked all along the coastline to the northeast.
I've been kind of keeping an eye on this. Relo's sniper tower got 4-man crashed by Veritas. He got 2 of them. It's just Jazza left. He got some support from Zenith as well. So Relo able to keep his position, staying alive for Oath here as Jazza pays the price here. But Illusion, you can see, has now made their way in. They're going on the coastline. We've got 2 teams inside of Milta Power proper, and one of them is going to be a 4-man squad of STK, the other 4-man of Zenith. So a lot of teams still trying to make their way in. Gas cans have kind of stopped and stalled out on the north here before trying to head in. I think they realized they were coming in so late there was very little chance that there was going to be something there for them. And
this path is usually pretty open. Yeah, this path is usually pretty open, but it is not this time around. Sonics look like the fact that they're going to be pretty comfortable just taking this low end point. If they start to stretch their limb way back up towards the north just a little bit like Tickleton's doing, he might find himself in a little bit of a problem here. Punage is going to connect with Shrimsy on the backside of this, but it's going to be Light Show that has a little bit of vision to work with. Luckily enough, Tickleton has to turn back around to go for this res and narrowly avoids putting himself into a kill box location that Illusion had set up for that position. So, with this, I do want to give you guys a quick update. Rumblers did finally separate away from the last remaining member of ATC, leaving over towards Heaven, making their way back around. ATC still way out inside in the zone. It's slowing down-ish, but there's still a lot of shots getting knocks, but not leading to flushes at this point. You can see that the best parking brakes in existence right now finally giving up and going to go ahead and roll their way back down that hillside. Tickleton's got Shrimsy next to him, but let's be honest, this is kind of a risky res to go for. But oddly enough, Shrimsy's capable of crawling this whole distance. Everybody's caught up on what's going on just to the north of this position with 3, technically 4 teams playing around Milta Power proper.
They just didn't look this way. Yeah, no, I mean, Light Show kept creeping over and creeping. This circle, what is going on? Anyway, Light Show kept creeping and creeping and creeping and making it look like he was thinking about doing it, but he never actually committed. Here now we've got Gas Cans finally making their move. They're going up on the side here. Comets have crashed Milta Minor, so Oath is trying to hold the line here while Comets does that. Meanwhile, Rumblers and Hardships fighting out in the south. This is going on outside of Circle. There's so many fights going on all at the same time right now, Matcham.
Yeah, okay, so here's the firing line situation that we've got going on. About 300 to 400 meters over towards the safe zone from this point. Rumblers have to be very careful as Hardships are now repositioning around. Hardships opting to not go back over that direction. Meanwhile, while this is going on inside of Factory, there's a little bit of a fight that's happening as everybody seems like they're starting to get their eye back over towards Oath, who is trying to hold up a defensive line, but it's Comets trying to make the aggressive play back over towards this. Oath looking back over remember, they still have their 2 kills based off of positioning, but everybody knows that how Oath wants to play this, and this is starting to be a little bit more problematic as towards the south, it looks like Dodge is aware of what's happening, but they're so close to the building, they don't really have vision up towards the top of it, which is where Oath is trying to play from. That means that they had to surrender the low ground, which Comets are trying to exploit. Moving around these lower positions, trying to make sure that they're fighting from covered points, looking back over towards Oath, who does have safety in a high position, but has to be very careful as they're slowly starting to get surrounded. Meanwhile, back in that fight that we were watching a second ago, Rumblers are separating out away from the Hardships, who did get control over that fight, and both teams now trying to make their way back into the safe zone after taking a little bit of damage on both sides.
I cannot believe Oath has managed to keep all 4 up still right now, as they're getting hard crashed by Comets and Dodge on one side. Relo's tower got crashed by Duel as a 4-man squad now as well. So Relo getting a lot of action over there as the solo for Oath. As we check back in down here, Comets will get that res up. They're back up to full strength, and this is all going on inside a circle, so they can afford to take their time with this, really, and they don't have to worry about pressuring. It looks like Snaker's going to go down to Yaxley, though, as now that fight has come out, and Houston Hardships will get finished off by Rumblers down in the south.
There's too many pivotal fights that are happening in so many different positions right now. You can see Olda's now looking back over towards One Eye Open, gets a couple of tap shots into him, finally connects, gets one of them down. When Low is also going to go down inside of that exchange. The rest of One Eye Open now fighting from the blue, trying to make a push back over towards Fabled's position, but I don't know how well that's going to go. Quickly getting destroyed as they try to make their approach back over towards this. There's not a lot. This is a very landlocked positioning, as you can see that Oath, while they do have a position to play from this high ground point, trying to find some way to salvage and trying to get damage out on the teams as they make their approach. They have so many that are dancing down below them. The new circle has popped and is predominantly on the land, which we can expect. But the bay where we saw Tickleton playing just a second ago is going to be inside of safe zone, so he doesn't have to move too much. Pat trying to go for a reposition, I think, trying to see if maybe he can kind of get up under that high point, as we've been seeing Oath very favored towards this higher positions. Still inside the safe zone, but let's be real, in a little bit of trouble, down to just 2 members and not a lot of good options as to rotate through, as it looks like Dodge and Comets aren't content with fighting each other.
And meanwhile, on the other side, Illusion finally crashing down on the Sonics. Tickleton still surviving for the time being, so we'll see how long that lasts. Gas Cans again crashing on that. Well, there you go. Sonics is eliminated in 13th place. That's going to open the door. Oath, Gas Cans all still up here. Gas Cans finally crashing on the Duel after they finally dispatched of Relo. And now this is a hard push, though. You never want to push into these Harry Potter towers like this, but they have to. They have no choice. They got to go.
Oh! Walks right into the crossfire, trying to make the approach, and this is not what Gas Cans wanted. Just one member up, and Honey Badger, usually he's the guy that's trying to go for the breach, and he's the forefront aggressor. This time, he's back, doesn't have an angle to really assist, and Duel manages to survive that very dangerous push. But here's the problem. Honey Badger has nowhere to go. The only small benefit that's what's going on right now is the teams that have the best angle onto him are going to be down next to Factory, which is going to be where Oath, Comets, Dodge are all playing from, and they're kind of caught up with each other. That's the only reason Honey Badger managed to make this cross back over towards position. Meanwhile, Milta Power gets another team that's deciding the fact that they want to hang out in this location. That's going to be Fabled. So that means the fact that Marcelik, the last remaining member for ATC, we're going to have Shoot to Kill playing from here, as well as Zenith. But it should be noted, but I think that we did finally see Sonics go down back over towards the bay position. And oddly enough, Liam is still alive, living inside the bay.
Oh, and here comes Honey Badger. He's dropping the grenades inside. He's going to find one down on the Penta. How many more grenades does he have? He's got 2. Oh, Balefrost.
Oh, the car!
The car!
Oh my god, I thought it was going to kill him.
So much damage, but he's staying alive for the time being. One more grenade is going to do it. Can he get it up in there? Yeah.
Good connection.
But it's not going to be enough to flush him, though. They got the res off. Here come the mollies, though. Oh, boy.
I mean, just throw everything you got at this point, Honey Badger. He's trying to get something out of this one. The problem is, Oath's still playing from that high ground, as the repositions have now come through from the teams that were playing the low ground, means that at least you can see Balefrost looking back over towards this angle. That means that Honey Badger is going to have a lot of trouble creeping back over, because this is the specific way that we can see Balefrost taking a shot back over. Vegas is also going to connect. Honey Badger has no options. He's just going to get dropped as he walks through the doorway. Duel managed to survive the onslaught that Gas Cans were trying to bring. But here's the opportunity for Oath. They are surrounded. They're in a little bit of trouble, but they only need 3 points to catch up to the Gas Cans.
And they've got 2 kills already, but they are down to 2, as you said, a little bit of trouble. We'll see where the circles decide to go as we continue on. Looks like for the time being, everybody's kind of settled down a little bit. I do want to give particular shout out to William, who managed to swim all the way the hell. I mean, he got himself. Swam. I'm talking.
He's got an island over there for himself. He's
from
just
the
chilling, dude.
Bottom of the peninsula on the south there. He swam all the way over to that island and somehow survived. So
he doesn't even have far to go to get inside the safe zone as the new circle does pop. He's just got to go hang out on the other side, and he actually has a predictive point to play from. So power to you, William, as any trolls in chats, Marcelik finally does get spotted out and goes down.
This boy, the snake of the day, although I think Top Dog still has him by just a little bit. But we'll see. We'll see after Top Dog's game 1 performance. But William did pretty good in that one as well as a snake. So we'll see what happens going forward. Now, this is the problem, Matt. It all has now come down to this circle. Milta Minor is going to have to make their way out, and that includes Dodge, Comets, and Oath. Can Oath survive this? Can they get inside the circle? Can they do something about Rumblers? Even if they get a few kills off of this, where do you even go? There's a little bit of a dip there. There's a little bit of a place to hide, but I mean, the biggest problem, obviously, Rumblers. You got Illusion there that you have to worry about. I mean, this is going to be rough.
The small benefit is it is a target-rich environment, and if you only need a couple of points, man, there's a lot of people around you right now. And the benefit is none of this inside of the safe zone, so you're just gonna have to fight your way through it. And I think that Pat Caps is getting a read on how he wants to aggress over. Balefrost has left his high ground positioning, and it looks like Comets, who chose to aggress over towards this position and do some damage to Oath might be looking to get a little bit of vengeance back their direction. Molotov's getting prepped back over towards this. Do note the fact that Dodge's Danny G was trying to flank back around, seeing maybe you could find an angle. Whoa, Pat takes a lot of damage inside of this one and has to be very careful. Once this firefight starts breaking out, that means that a lot of these close teams are going to be aware of what's happening. Rumbler's very content just to mop up whoever leaves this position.
And now Pant taking damage from Leda as well, but Penta and the rest of Duel are going to spot out Comets on the outside of the wall here, so they got to be careful. And now Rumbler's getting involved. Dodge is going to lose Adam here. They're down to just Danny G. The circle is pushing. The blue is right on their backs. We'll see Danny G pushing in. Oh, Oath isn't even looking in that direction just yet. They've got full eyes and full focus on Comets. The smokes are down. We'll see if it stays alive for a little bit. Danny G going to find Balefrost, though, and Yaxley will mop it up, and that is it for Oath.
Now continuing on the path, they didn't pick up the points they needed to catch on, but there's still one more round to go. Danny G knows the fact that there is an enemy in front of him, but how is he going to contest with it? He's all by his lonesome. Not a lot of damage. Got hit back over towards Comets. You can see Vegas still holding up. Duel's deciding the fact that they're going to be a little bit more aggressive back over towards the ridge to the north. That's going to be a double factor, as two different aggressive lines could be firing at them. As you can see, Rumblers are now lining up. Comets trying to regroup. Danny G is just looking for a target. Gonna find one, but it's going to be Vegas that gets the kill back over towards it. Comets got to figure out where they're going to go, as Duel now positioning back over towards Zenith, who are taking a lot of shots back over towards this angle. New circle does pop, and it's going to be southeast of Milta Power proper, still having a touch of the bay that is going to be in play from this point. Duel, where are you going to go from this now? Because you're going to have a trek in front of you, as Fabled has the last remnants of Milta Power proper to themselves.
Yeah, they pulled out of that fight with STK, somehow surviving, and now Zenith's going to put all their attention down towards Duel, and Poonage will find one, Kickstart will find one. It's all down to just Penta, who's just hiding behind the smallest bit of cover that they've got, and it's going to be that Dacia. We'll see how long he can stay alive there, as I believe they're probably close to, if not completely out of smokes at this point, because they tried to use everything they had just to get where they're at, and it was all of maybe 10 feet away from where they were, so not the best situation to be in.
Well, there's been a lot of fighting that's been happening back over towards the west. Remember Illusion that was kind of contemplating taking a couple of shots over towards Tig? They're in a very comfortable position, as you can see. Vehicle Explosion's going to finally take down Pentalol. Zenith's going to be able to reposition now. Rumblers finding themselves in a difficult spot. But again, Illusion, Fabled, and very strong points to play from. And oddly enough, don't forget about our boy Liam, our little scuba diver over there that's going to be in a good spot to at least buy himself a little bit more positioning. He's in a very comfortable spot by comparison to Rumblers, who just have nowhere to go. Looks like they're just going to double up in a buggy and just send it and see what's going to happen. Zenith's kind of caught up and looking for repositions. They're going to find themselves a little bit of an angle to work with, but Illusions do have a little bit of a spot that they might be able to take a couple of pot shots at Rumblers as they aggress up this hillside. Kickstart's going to go ahead and spot out one, but it's going to be Los, the front man for Rumblers, sitting on 8 kills, trying to see if they can find an aggressive way to move through, but no, it's going to be the prone shots coming out from Kickstart. Gaxy's going to try to follow up on it, but Kickstart's still holding the line for his team, repositioning, coming up back behind him, and it doesn't look too good for Gaxy, as finally he's going to get dropped off from that point, and now it's going to be Zenith that has position and walls to play for a little while, but shoot to kill, making the aggressive plays back over towards Fabled's position.
Yeah, Fabled been a thorn in the side of STK for a while now. They managed to knock him down to just 2, as Alo, Luke, and Purdy are inside the circle. They want to try to see how they want to encroach upon this position. They don't need to, though, so we might see them just kind of hold back for the time being. Meanwhile, Illusion, as you said, perfectly situated on that cliff, at least until the circle pulls away from them. Zenith doing a heck of a job, though, controlling all of that Milta power. They've got 6 kills already. They're feeling pretty good about things, but this is just one of those weird games, man, where it seems like everybody's going to have some kills. Nobody's going to come home with the lion's share, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of a tangled mess as shift upon shift has come into play. Illusion going to get a little bit of favorable positioning inside the circle. Really just Zenith and our boy William. We know the fact that he can swim, but now the question comes into play, can he climb? Couple of shots now going to come out from shoot to kill back over towards Fable. Seeing the fact they're going to connect with them, going to go ahead and take down Greg Shot and flush him quickly, buying a little bit more positioning to move through this warehouse. And here comes the push. The lineup is on the other side of it. A couple of quick shots going to connect back over towards Hella, and Fable gets removed. But it's going to be Zenith that hears this and is now going to start to position back around where shoot to kill is trying to defend up.
Ooh, Kickstart got a little ahead of himself there. A little separated from the team, but he does manage to pull away, only taking a little bit of damage. As Illusion going to regroup on that cliff side and keep watching over. I don't know what there's not really much they can do from right here, though. I wouldn't be surprised to see them maybe try to send 1 or 2 up against the wall if they can manage it, which might... I gotta say, it might open the door for William to do something here, but it looks like he is perfectly content just hanging out on the cliffs there.
There's still a little bit of the bait. He doesn't have to move just yet. He can still just kind of float this one through and let Illusion do all the work for him. Really, we're looking at a 4v4, v3, v1, with William kind of being the odd man out. But the firing lines are starting to set up as it looks like finally Kickstart gets some vision back over towards Show, pops his helmet off to boot, which could be pretty problematic for these later game fights. Really, it's shoot to kill and Zenith that are very close to each other and might have to really deal with what's happening. It comes down to the fact that Illusion still has that hillside, you can see, where they can reposition around and kind of take multiple firing angles to work from. It comes down to the point of how much do they want to aggress onto this, and if they really want to inflict any damage on Zenith. Zenith, though, they've got goals, man. They're sitting on 6 kills. They know exactly where shoot to kill is at, and they see that as potential points, and they want them sitting up in position. If they manage to pick up this team, that will put them ahead of Rumblers.
William made the move I wanted him to make. He went to the beach. He's gonna find one. Let's go, William. He's down to half HP. He's gonna throw the grenade. He's got a dino.
Oh! He knocked the second. That is huge. That means the other 2 are going to have to move from position. You can see that they're crawling for that point. The new circles pop. Shoot to kill is not in a position, so they're going to have to make their way back down towards the south. This could be huge, though. With this, that means that Illusion cannot oversee this fight. They have to go commit back over towards those reses. They are inside the safe zone, but now everything flips back over towards shoot to kill. All pressure onto them. You can see Poonage lining up, getting the sprays back over towards the angle. There is a little bit of that outer wall. It looks like shoot to kill is trying to get some type of manipulation from. And with Illusion having to reposition away from that, they were taking harassing shots from them before. Now it's a little bit more open. You can see kind of where Icy Flex and the rest of the team were positioned at. Alo was hesitant to move through here, but that opens up this path and now could allow him to get into a flanked position on the other side of Zenith.
Woe was literally 1 tick away from death when they hit him. He had 3 HP left when they were able to stick the res. That was almost a double kill there from William at the end. Barely able to get to Woe in time. We're not able to get to Show, and they get them both back up. So Illusion back up to 3 strong, and they're now trying to get back into position. But STK looks like they're just kind of snaking along the wall for the time being.
Poonage thinks better of leaving his safety of fence there.
Probably
steps around, takes a couple of shots. Top Dog, who we've been talking about quite a bit today, kind of the high ground aggressor right now for Illusion, and could find himself with a very beautiful angle back down towards shoot to kill. Yep, there he goes. First shot's going to connect. Then it's going to be Icy Flex that connects back over towards Poonage. They've got the firing lines to work with, but Top Dog did go down inside that fight as well. It's going to be Kickstart playing the low ground advantage right now. It's going to be running through. Does spot out Luke, but Luke says, hell no, get that away from me. Roth goes for a counter pickup. Does manage to connect onto it, but it's got to be very careful onto this. Doesn't manage to get Luke down through it. So Zenith having to bounce from every single cover piece that they can find. Meanwhile, Shoot to Kill trying to get the res back over. Kickstart does go down inside of this. So we are looking at a 3v3v3 now as the reses do come back through. As it's going to be wall, I guess, oil derrick position and high ground hill And guess what? The center point of this circle is in the middle of nothing. You're going to have to fight your way through or use smokes, but Illusion knows that they have an angle for shoot to kill and are trying to commit to it.
And everybody is absolutely busted to high hell. I mean, Illusion was raining down death and destruction upon STK, and in the middle of that, they managed to get the double onto Zenith here. Shinboy going to try to go for the res as the blue is starting to creep in. It looks like he should be able to get away with it. Top Dog will find one. He's going to finish off STK, and Pootage and Shinboy now will try to stay alive, see if they can maybe get something onto Illusion here, but they have only a little bit of time to use that wall. They need to land these shots.
Trying to look up that hillside. There's just so much smoke. Meanwhile, Illusion slowly creeping back down. They've got a smoke wall of their own, trying to get back down towards this tree. A very central point, trying to get an angle for it. Punich steps around the sideline. Icy Flex gets the drop back over towards him. Shots trying to connect from Shinboy, the last one up for his team, trying to find the angle, but there's just too many members of Illusion. Top Dog taking the front point for his team yet again, looking back over and through. You can see that Shinboy knows he's going to have to vault over this wall, and that is a death sentence for him. Trying to connect with some type of shot to find the angle, but it's not gonna happen. It's gonna be Illusion that takes our second to last round with 7 kills.